The NBA has featured a variety of horribly embarrassing moments over the course of its extended history.
Bogey fell down, ball hit him, it goes out of bounds.
These come in all different shapes and sizes, with some being far worse than others. Today we're gonna look at a handful of the most embarrassing moments in league history. Moments that the NBA might not want you to see. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how a worker for the league messed up during the course of an NBA game, confusing everybody on the floor. The first moment that we're going to talk about involves the stellar scorer Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was still on the New York Knicks at that time and was going up against the Washington Wizards. His teammates hit him with a beautiful feed as he cut inside to the basket, helping him ridiculously open about 1 foot from the net. Given how close guarded he usually was at this time, I think the amount of space he had even surprised him. He turned and let a very tiny jump shot fly towards the rim, but completely missed it and airballed it. This is despite him being wide open and being wildly close to the basket. Not the best look for Anthony, but hey, these shots happen from time to time. A very similar shot like the one from Anthony is where we're taking you next. It's a shot from the Los Angeles Lakers point guard Russell Westbrook. The Lakers were going up against the Toronto Raptors and found themselves down by 3 points with 1 possession left to go. LeBron James took a fairly deep three and bricked it hard, though Westbrook luckily pulled away with a board. With over 10 seconds left in the game and a lot of time to find a good shot, Russ ignored everybody else on the floor and went isolation. He sized up the taller Pascal Siakam and fired a 3 over the top of him, despite being a horrendous shooter this season. The shot didn't just hit the rim and bounce off, it actually hit the top left corner of the backboard before falling right into the hands of a Raptors player, sealing the game for Toronto. Westbrook believed he got fouled when he didn't, and you could just see the disappointment and shock in his teammates' faces over the shot, especially LeBron, who just looked confused as to why he shot it so early in the clock. I'm just glad that it wasn't Westbrook walking back into the huddle. I just know he felt the embarrassment of the brick. The embarrassment that Avery Bradley must have felt in this next play had to have been far worse. Bradley and the Detroit Pistons picked up a steal against the Los Angeles Clippers late in the second quarter. Bradley ran down the court with literally nobody chasing after him as he rose up to try and throw down a dunk. Unfortunately, Bradley didn't get the ball high enough and saw it clang off the rim and bounce back down to the floor behind him. He found the ball again and rose up for his second attempt at the rim, though this one was 10 times worse than the first one. Patrick Beverley came soaring in from outside of the screen to swat the ball hard off the backboard, allowing the Clippers defense to come back and defend. So in just a matter of seconds, Bradley gets rim stuffed on a dunk attempt and then gets swatted off the backboards by Beverley. It doesn't get much more embarrassing than this one. At least the Pistons were able to retain possession of the ball after this horrendous play. The Milwaukee Bucks weren't able to say the same after Eric Bledsoe chose to shut down and run on autopilot for a little bit. The Bucks were up by 7 points when battling against the Los Angeles Clippers with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Bucks were inbounding the basketball, with Bledsoe taking it on the sidelines and Giannis Antetokounmpo preparing to receive the inbounds pass and take it up the floor. The referee handed the basketball into Bledsoe's hands, but he didn't pass it at all. Instead, Bledsoe literally just started running up the court without passing, and the referee immediately blew the play dead and gave possession to the Clippers. It should go without saying that you aren't able to just run into play with the ball. You have to inbound it. When the whistle got called and the replay was shown on the Jumbotron, I can only imagine how bad this must have felt for Bledsoe. James Harden's face probably felt a little worse during this next play. The New Orleans Pelicans were taking on the Houston Rockets here, and Harden found the basketball with just 5 seconds left in the first half. The game was tied, so he wanted a bucket to get the lead going into the second half. Josh Hart attempted to swipe the ball while he was defending him up the court in a hurry, but was unsuccessful. Harden worked around him multiple times and took a very contested jump shot into the upright arms of Hart behind the three-point line. The ball was blocked, and Harden was upset that he couldn't get open and didn't get the foul. So, to let out his anger, he turned around and slammed the basketball into the ground. The problem? Well, he slammed it so hard that it bounced back up and hit him in the face as he started to just walk off the floor like it never happened. The camera cut over to Hart, who was right next to him, and he stood there shocked like he couldn't believe what he just saw from Harden. The fact that this got caught on camera had to have been a rough feeling for James. From one James to another, LeBron made a poor decision that led to embarrassment at a critical stage in this game. The Los Angeles Lakers were going up against the Denver Nuggets. There was just over 2 minutes left, and the Lakers were down by 13 points. LeBron was doing that one trick where you let the basketball roll up the court to avoid starting the clock. He didn't just let it roll when it crossed half court. He continued to walk behind it and let it roll all the way down to the Nuggets' three-point line. It even started heading down to the corner. It was that long. Instead of LeBron wanting to go ahead and pick it up, he just waited for somebody on Denver to push him. Eventually, a Denver player stepped forward and pressured him to the point where LeBron got caught off guard and tried to correct himself. The correction led to the ball rolling out of bounds, giving it to the Nuggets. Now, I totally get wanting to let it roll, but at some point, you have to at least pick it up when there's a defender in front of you. This next guy didn't pick up the pace when he came out to do his job. The Houston Rockets were playing the Golden State Warriors, and the game was over at this point. With just under 2 minutes left, the Rockets had a 30-point lead. However, that didn't mean that they were planning to just roll over and give up. Houston sent a lazy pass up the court when the Warriors swooped in to steal the ball and turned it into a fast break on the other end. As the ball got passed, a league worker came out onto the floor to try and wipe the court to keep it clean for the players. By the time he looked back up, he realized that there were multiple players coming straight at him. He didn't back up or try to get in the way of the fast break. He instead had to run further up the court before running back onto the sidelines to let the play end. This isn't exactly the type of swiftness that the league wants out of their workers. But then again, how was he supposed to know that a fast break couldn't turn so fast? Either way, the poor guy had to have been incredibly embarrassed that he just got in the way of a play during a nationally televised basketball game. That will do it for this video on the most embarrassing moments that the NBA doesn't want their fans to see. Be sure to take a second to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss out on another one of our videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to leave a like and comment below which of these embarrassing moments were your favorites.